process of, it's like running a race. It's a process. On your marks, get set and go. We're on our marks at the moment. And how are we doing this? If you're interested when you go to the UK, you go to so many developed or developing nations, you discover that there are provisions for how you can. I'll say it again, it's the most addictive drug in the world. To now have it sold indiscriminately, it's like going to the pharmacy and you get certain drugs that are meant to be strictly by prescription sold on the streets.
So how is this supposed to work at the end of the day? If the bill is passed, it becomes an act, and somebody's smoking in the public?
Well, that's like any other law. It means you've offended the provisions of the law of the land.
The police can pick you up? Or
once you offend the provisions of the land, that allows for that.
And we hope the police will not, if you see someone of them just accidentally doing that, they also offend the law.
Well, laws are meant to be broken. Laws are not cast in stone. Even abroad you see where people smoke, and I think that there's one in the UK right now where even when you smoke and you drop this, I think that's been enforced by the City of London, where the minute you drop your bud, you're even fined for littering. There's so many things. See, we have to be careful. We have to take this thing seriously. The reason why we're probably not taking it as serious as we should is because we are not exposed to enough statistics. A couple of weeks ago...
Not because we don't see it as a problem, because as I said before, wouldn't you agree that smoking is an antisocial behavior in Nigeria?
Different strokes for different folks. You would see some who, like I said, some people would embrace it and some would kick against it. Excuse me. Now, you discover that suddenly Nigerians are patronizing Indian hospitals. Suddenly, there are all sorts of cancers popping up. Suddenly, there are kidney failures, liver failure, this cancer, that cancer. I read on the pages of the papers, I think on Saturday, where it says it will cost an average of 500,000 naira per month to treat cancer. How many people can actually afford to do this? And sometimes you hear about, smoking is dangerous to health, but you are not really aware of what it can do, until you see it.
Some people also say, who argue that, yes, you can regulate tobacco, you can control it, but what about hemp? Indian hemp, that is, it seems is commonly available now, and that's becoming a major problem. Even in many states, in the north, in the east, in the west, how do you regulate that? And you can see that it's difficult for police to enforce or to make enforcements in those areas. How then would they now do tobacco control? It would seem that one would be a greater problem than the other.
Ma'am, to be honest with you, hemp is it's all over the world. There's an issue with it all over the world. Excuse me. I'm aware that it was declassified at a particular time, even in the UK, because they had discovered that quite a number of people were smoking hemp, and they were getting sent to jail. And they realized that, wait a minute, there are more people in jail held for smoking hemp than much more serious crimes. And they decided to declassify it. Another reason, they decided to declassify it. And because it was declassified, more people started to smoke. And then they had to change their tactics. But we have to start from somewhere. When you have a problem, and you know you have a problem, then the problem is half solved.
All right.
Let us start from somewhere first. Let us take care. And you see some who would even argue and tell you cigarette is much more dangerous than hemp. You would see some who would tell you that it's prescribed. I don't want to be held, to that, but you get cases where they say it's prescribed for glaucoma. I haven't heard where tobacco smoking has been prescribed for such ailments.
Okay, we're out to let it go there. Honorable Daya Bush, Alobioshi is the Chairman, House Committee on Treaties and Protocol. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're back after this.